Hey guys, welcome to Crypto Command. With the upcoming Bitcoin halving, there is a lot of excitement in the cryptocurrency space, and certainly the Bitcoin price action has been getting a lot of attention. I personally have been spending a lot of time looking at the technical charts. Here, the Bitcoin chart, looking at the weekly chart right now. Ever since the major pullback in the price of Bitcoin in early March, we have been on a steady rise week over week, lots of green here as we have gotten up, broken through the $9,000 mark, currently sitting around 8,800, 8,900. We've never closed above 9,000 on the weekly chart yet, and that in particular is something that we will talk about in this video. What I'd like to do is keep this pretty simple, just show a couple of trend lines here that I'm paying attention to. This is absolutely not financial advice. I'm just showing some things that I think are kind of interesting as we approach this big event here upcoming this month in May 2020. This only happens once every 4 years, so lots to pay attention to right now. All right, I'm going to toss these trend lines on here. First, I just want to mention that there is major support in the price of Bitcoin that is steadily on the rise here. So this goes back to late 2018, the trend line that I'm drawing here. I'm bumping this up against with the close of the major price drop, not this major wick that we saw in this candle that went way down into the $3,800 level, but closed more around 5,300. This has been rising up. We'd currently be sitting at a price support level of around 5,500. So that's there, and it's just good to know that that support exists. This corresponds nicely with the 200-week moving average. That's the blue line that you see right here. But looking at this trend line, I have one other trend line here that I'd like to spend some time talking about here, because this is what I think is most interesting. This is this downward trend line that's drawn close to where we are right now. We'll talk about that in a second, along with what we saw earlier in February of 2020, what we saw mid-2019. I'm going to go way back to early 2018. When we were pretty close to the top. So this is not the absolute top that we saw around the $20,000 mark or below 19,000 in there, but when we dropped down to around the $16,000 mark in early 2018 and really started to see the pullback. That's where I'm starting, and you can see this trend line down, and we have bumped up against this again and again, and now we're close to it yet again. And so I'm drawing this trend line. This is based on closed levels or open levels. This is not based on wicks. And so I think what you can see here is the way I drew this trend line on the weekly chart. We have never had an open or a close that was extending beyond this trend line. And so this, if we look at this right now, is right around the $9,500 mark. And so I think this is a major point of resistance for the price of Bitcoin that we will have to get through at some point if we are to see the major price movement upward yet again and approach those all-time highs that we would all love to see. But in the near term, could this be a point of resistance, see some consolidation? To be determined, but I just want to show you a few things that I'm looking at here, just so you can keep an eye out, and I'll let you know what I'm watching here. So if we switch to shorter time frames like the daily chart, and you look at this overall trend line down, I'm just zooming out here a little bit so that we can capture more of this. This is my trend line, and you can see that we have on the daily, we have moved outside of this trend line multiple times. What has not happened on the daily yet is that we have not seen consistent bullish action for multiple days on end, say 3 or more days. We've had days where we get above, we get a close above, but then immediately the bears take over, we pull back. This has happened. Every time that we try to push above, we've had an immediate pullback. Had a day back here in 2019 mid-2019, where we had a couple of days, maybe something's happened, and then we get a pullback. So this has consistently been the story. The same things happened here in early 2020. And so what I'm watching for is to be able to see multiple days in a row, multiple green candles, something not too different from what we're seeing right now on this breakout, where we're seeing multiple green candles in a row that give you confidence that we're really starting to have bullish action to the upside. I'll even flip to the shorter time frame of the 4-hour chart, zoom way out here so you guys can see this, that the same thing tends to happen even on the 4-hour chart, is that when you get above this trend line, you just get, it may be hard to see, but there is a lot of chatter, but there is as much downward pressure as there is upward pressure. And we've never been able to extend much above this range. And so you don't see consistently a lot of bullish upward momentum. And so I think on a shorter time frame, I would want to see even more consistency in that movement, being able to continually close at higher levels and see that this is truly a breakout above this major line of resistance. And so as we flip back to the weekly chart, this is what I'm thinking about, is simply that we need to be able to move through here. There could be consolidation in the near term. So if we see movement here and you're seeing pullback, maybe that's time to just sit on our hands for a little while longer until we wait for things to move forward. Interested what you guys think about this. Do you think that we will see a breakout in the near term? Historically, we have not seen breakouts at or right around the time of the Bitcoin halving. We've usually had to wait for that at least a few months to see the upward price action truly taking place. Curious what you guys will think is going to happen in this halving event. Are there other technical indicators that you're particularly paying attention to, think are interesting here? Let me know if you like this type of content. I'm trying this out on the channel as we get into this really exciting time. And I'll be looking at some other coins as well. So let me know in the comments below if there are any particular coins that you are really interested and excited about right now. But in the meantime, if you like this video, drop it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and would like to see more content like this. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep stacking those coins.